No offense, LLC. The LLC stand for business. Yeah. It's no offense, yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. We're trying to get to know it then. Gave support from those that view and wanna see you win. We got the website, magazine, and radio. Be back up soon. Trying to put you in the spotlight so that you can tell your truth. Yeah, it's no offense to you and me. Ain't trying to sell no image. I want you to come on through and live your life the way you live it. What you say, you on your way. Shine so bright, they gotta see you. Pave your way and go be great. Make us say now, non-believers. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense, yeah, it's no offense, yeah, it's no offense, yeah, it's no offense. They said you couldn't, now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Man, y'all hit that share button, man. Tap in. Special thank you to the guest of the show. Hey guys, you know what time it is. Look fast. The No Offense podcast is back on. Do me a favor. You know how we get down. We're all about support here. Go ahead and hit the share button. It's absolutely free. I promise if you do it in the next 60 seconds, they won't charge you. But if they do, I'm going to need you to take a screenshot and send it to me, man. And you know me, I'll reimburse it. But you got to prove that it came from them. Don't send me none of those Photoshop stuff. I know we got some talented people in the audience. I'm going to be checking. But while I'm checking on that, y'all need to be checking for our guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Miss Daphne Minks of High Stakes University on the platform today, and we have definitely got a treat for you. Do me a favor, please get active in the comments. Let us know where you might be watching from. And as always, as you're watching the platform, if you happen to have any kind of questions for us, you know, be respectful. No offense. You know what I mean? Definitely make sure that you put them in the comment section, and if we're able to, we'll get them addressed. How about that? Again, you gotta do me a favor, hit the share button. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. And who knows, maybe one day it will be you on the platform. Make sure that you visit nooffensellc.com /WordPress, or just go to nooffensellc.com, click on the link that says enter no offense. And then make sure you hit that button in the top right that says subscribe to make that way that you can get exclusive content to your email, such as giveaways, notifications, great articles of people of interest like today's guest, things like that you might find useful. You know what I mean? So without further ado, you know how we do. I'm going to go ahead and bring on a guest of the hour so that you guys can ask those questions. You know what I mean? Make sure that you get your popcorn and things like that, get comfortable and work those fingers out, because I need to get you guys in the comment section today for sure. So here we go. Y'all do me a favor. Help me welcome Miss Daphne Minks to the platform.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going, everybody, all the listeners?
Thank you so much again for giving us the opportunity to ask you some questions today, Ms. Minks.
Oh man, really are you kidding? It's my honor. I'm so thrilled to be on your show. It's awesome.
Thank you. Now, I always say that if you're going to tell a great story, you got to make sure that you start from the beginning, because who likes to jump in the middle of a story? Like, I mean, come on, you got to ask, what happened here? Why did he do that? That's so annoying. I'm trying to concentrate. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miss Sweet Tea Lee, who's actually in the building checking us out. Appreciate you for tapping in. Miss Sweet Tea Lee, please go ahead and hit the share button for me one time. You know how we do. We're going to get started, if that's okay, Miss Daphne, and ask about where were you born and raised, if you don't mind me asking, and how was growing up in that environment?
Yeah, I'm actually from the southern United States, so I'm a proud Southerner. I am from a very rural area, kind of closed-minded place. So yeah, growing up there, it was a little challenging. People had some funky ideas about life. And so you kind of had to navigate it a little bit, you know. Eventually I moved out of the South. It was a little too much for me. It was a little too constrictive, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, I moved to the big city, you know, and kind of stretched my wings a little bit. Yeah, I don't really know what else you want to know about that. I'm a Gen Xer, you know. really was into music, had a crazy variety of great friends growing up. I felt very supported by my social circle. Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. I don't know, no complaints, I guess.
Awesome, awesome sauce, man. Hey, it sounds like it made an amazing woman for sure. If you can, let's work on that too. How did you first find your interest in this particular field? I gotta say, you're definitely one of the first of your kind on the show as well. In your field as far as UAV and drone technology. If you can, explain to us like how what got you interested in the field and how did you land in your current role as founder?
Yeah, it's kind of a funky story, I guess. It's weird. I'm actually a stalking survivor, and privacy and security was something that was a luxury. You know what I mean? I mean, this person ruined my life for many years, and I'm 48. And so I come from the generation where it's like stalking wasn't a word. It was just somebody bothering you, right? Or this, ass is just being like whatever. No, like this person was stalking me. There's actual words for this now, right? Trolling, doxing, all this kind of stuff. This was my reality for many years, many years. So this person
Hmm.
never saw any kind of like justice. You know what I'm saying? There was no justice there. And so it was
Right.
really up to me to surround myself with strong people that were willing to take my back and willing to look out for me and keep me safe. And
Right.
that's where I sort of started getting into those social circles with SWAT folks and executive security professionals and military guys and gals, of course, um, and it really started becoming clear to me as I started kind of healing through this journey that security shouldn't be a luxury. It really shouldn't.
Right.
And so how is it that we can, as like everyday folk, take control in some ways like that, And so I started researching like cameras and things. And then I met somebody who is a UAV subject matter expert. And
Wow.
I was fascinated. I was like, so let me get this straight. You know what I mean? Like, you can do all this stuff with drones. Like, I'm thinking, what everybody else does, like their toys or they're for the military or whatever. Not the case. And so I sort of just fell in love with this whole industry and all the different things that you can do with it. And admittedly, the folks in the industry are cool as the other side of the pillow. So I kind of found my tribe, you know what I mean?
Hey,
That's kind of my whole story, really. I mean, in a nutshell, is it was just really a necessity of like perimeter security, you know what I mean? Personal security. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
that's well, I'm definitely glad that you had that strong village that was able to kind of help offer those solutions, especially from the air because I mean
Yep.
think about it, where's there a better view of the
Yeah.
to assess the situation than from overhead. I am sorry to hear that you had that unfortunate incident with that person who favored you more than most apparently.
Yeah.
I,
Well, I think it was more the opposite. They didn't like me. That was the
I
thing. This was not like unrequited love. It was somebody who just hated the fact that I was breathing. I mean, really, it was that. And the person was very dangerous. And so this was very much, I need a solution for this.
yeah.
And so I kind of came up with the idea of like, if you can manage the sky, if you can monitor the skies, you can manage the crisis, right? So to some degree, this has really been my salvation in not just a business way and networking, but my own mental stability. Honestly, this gives
Right.
me a sense of, whoo, I can sleep at night. I feel good in my, you know what I mean? Like I feel more comfortable in my skin. I guess that's the way to say it, right? So yeah, that's me. That's me.
Wow. Yeah. No, that definitely should be a guy given right. I definitely agree. With the fact that you guys are able to provide that kind of security, man, that's just a whole different aspect and dimension of security, really. Because who has that kind of access and control over their environment? So, if I can ask you, what are some of the solutions that your company offers? I see that you guys offer law enforcement training, security training, obviously, being in the field, and high crisis response situations as far as like how to act, when to act, and what resources are available. Could you tell us a little bit about how you developed your program, and what kind of things motivated your particular setup that you have now?
Oh yeah, I'd be glad to. So basically, we cover my partners in this business. They also own another company called Altitude University, and that's sort of how this whole thing got rolling. So they deal with consumers. So any of your listeners that are like, hey, I want to get my Part 107, which is the licensure, test and stuff, you have to pass to become a licensed UAV pilot. If they want to do that, it's Altitude University. That's my partner. It's an online course. These dudes are awesome. Really, they're videos, they got lots of content, they teach you lots of stuff. So basically, in our program, we say it's law enforcement or a security company, whoever it is that's interested. We set them up from point A all the way down, where we help you with the test prep through Altitude. So you sign up through them, and all this stuff. You get your Part 107, you do your classes. Then our team comes out and we vet you to make sure that you know what the heck you're doing. Because a lot of folks don't realize in the UK, in order to become a licensed pilot, somebody has to visually see that you know what the hell you're doing with this thing, right? Because it can be dangerous. If you pass the test, but you've never actually flown one, ooh, that could
Yeah.
get crazy. You're crashing into stuff, and it's insane, especially in like a heavy situation where you're like, you really have to focus. You better know what you're doing. So what we've done is we've brought that to the US. So we give you hands-on training, show you how to operate this thing, that we see with our own eyes, that this guy knows what girl, whoever knows what they're doing. So there's that. The next part of that is that we're going to teach you drills, up, down, make sure in these crisis situations how to do it indoors. How do you fly a drone indoors? That's not stuff they're going to just teach you. You know what I mean? Perimeter security, suspect tracking, all kinds of different stuff. How do you, negotiate through the air if somebody's on your property? You have that ability to speak to them with some drones. You know what I mean? And some of them, they can even speak back, like the person can speak back. So you're able to say, get off my property. That's a lot better than walking out and you're, with a weapon or something. You're putting yourself in danger, right? So that's basically what we offer, is like, whether you're a consumer, just a regular person, you can go through Altitude University and get your Part 107. You totally understand it, or get prepped for it. Get ready to get your license. And then, if you want more training through your company, or even if you're starting a security company, anything like that, give us a call. We'll help you out. And also, the other thing is, I want to make sure your listeners know this. If you guys have any questions about anything, bring them over. Like, we're more than happy to network, to talk to you, to help you out, figure out what it is that this might, benefit you. How can it benefit you? So I totally want to open that up to all your listeners. Y'all got questions? Bring them on.
There you go. You definitely heard Daphne. You can get that information, and not only that, it'll be accurate information, top leading information, the latest in tech, to make sure that you're better prepared. So I definitely appreciate that, Ms. Daphne.
I definitely want to throw out something. I am definitely one of those people, and our whole company is kind of based on this. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know.
You gotta admire that honesty. That's where I like to be. Yes, ma'am. That's that, and I've always been that way. It's like, hey, you know what? I respect a person who's honest to say, you know what, I don't know, but I'll be willing to help you find the answer that you live. That's amazing. And I definitely think that speaks to the customer service culture that you guys, might be have over there at High Stakes University. So, can you? So, let me make sure I follow. You can as far as consumers, you've got Altitude University to make sure that you're good on as far as flying and registering for the FFA license that you need to be able to operate the drone, and knowing, making sure that you know what it is that you're doing. I can say I got me I know you guys do commercial drones. I know you guys are experts. I got me a drone a couple years ago, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go outside and fly it, and it ended up in a tree. So I mean, yes, it's definitely a skilled, it's definitely a skilled a skill that you need to pick up and be trained on. I'm telling you, it's you would think that it's like a remote control car. I think by the time I went in the house, I was just I'm just glad that the drone stopped flying and I knew where it was. Like, I was just happy at that. I was like, okay. So I'm gonna put this over here. Nobody touch it. Nobody
Yes.
touch it. Because it starts up and it takes off. You're like, whoa, it's hovering. Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah,
can I
I
ask
fully
like
get that. Trust me. I can say that the word crash is definitely in my vocabulary.
I was amazed that the thing was still flying. I was just like, yo, I might not be the most qualified individual to be, you know, you just gonna put this over here and hope nobody noticed all that noise. You know what I
Love
mean?
it. That's
Uh,
great.
may I ask, so how high, because I mean, when you think of UAV, I know sometimes, like, I mean, you might be able to see them like on a clear day. I think you can look up, how high, do you guys operate? I know there's, with the FFA, there's different things that they, like, I guess you have to know like how high the drone can go in the airspace, and then you can't. I guess you still can't go over like military airspace and things like that. How high up have you guys had opportunity to operate, or that you operate commonly on? And how is that different from like maybe a commercial location versus like maybe some residential surveillance or things like that?
Yeah, it really actually depends on who you are, where you're flying, and why, if that makes any sense. Anytime that you're flying, you definitely have to get airspace approval. So that's something that's important that people need to learn how to do to make sure you're not interfering with planes and different things like that. As far
Right.
as how high, again, it totally depends on what you're doing and who. And that's part of why you take the prep, is because you need to know how high each machine can go. How high are you allowed to go in this particular situation? Do I need clearance from, the FAA for this particular flight? If I'm just a hobbyist, do I have to call them? It depends. Everywhere is a little different, and that's where we kind of come in to help you to make sure you're not flying too high, interfering with stuff, getting into power lines and crazy stuff. That's the stuff that we teach you. So it's kind of not really a blanket answer like, oh, it's just this and this. It's really situational. And that's why it's so important to get that training. You know what I mean? Because like I say, you can hurt people, if you don't know what you're doing, the thing falls out of the sky or whatever, like because it's too high or too hot. That's another thing. Temperature is important. Is it too cold? Is it too windy? Weather conditions are incredibly important. So all of those things are factors. So it's not really kind of a blanket answer. You know what I mean? I think most people would be surprised though. They don't really, drones really aren't spying on you. You know what I mean? Like quite as much, I think, as people think they are. Not saying they're not. Believe me, if anybody in the world is concerned about spying, it's me.
I,
you know,
I
it,
understand. Yes, man.
totally. And yeah. I'll just leave it at that. It's not a blanket answer. It's something that you just kind of have to learn, and it's easily done through altitude or through us, whatever method you go through, we got you. So yeah.
There it is. Definitely, there it is. I got a couple more questions, and I definitely thank you, Miss Daphne, for giving us this amazing opportunity as well.
Oh man, I'm
Uh,
having a blast. Are you kidding? This
hey,
is
hey,
great.
don't threaten me with a good time. You'll be stuck here all day now. Okay,
Great.
so as far as obviously, like you said, there's the right tools for the right jobs. Obviously, you got to know when and where and what capabilities that you have. Do you guys, I mean, I know a lot of times when we hear UAV, if you're a gamer like myself, you're thinking Call of Duty. Oh my god, they got the UAV. How often are you guys, or do you guys work with like militarized UAV, or is that something that you handle in your sector, or is that um or are you more so like unweaponized, hey, we can help you deter, actions. We don't necessarily want to engage. Is that something that you guys handle as well? I'm only asking because I know you guys do train the law enforcement and security,
Yeah.
and sometimes they may have to take that extra approach versus versus the regular consumer who's just trying to stay safe and be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I'm super thrilled you asked me that question. That's golden right there because I have one of our founders, our chief pilot is a former Marine, and he did 5 tours combat, like he's seen his share of stuff. um we sort of came together and thought about this. Is that something we want to get into? Is this weaponized kind of thing? No, it's not. Absolutely not. So if we were to get involved with a law enforcement, like the military kind of thing is not, like I say, that's not my thing. It's not, I don't want to.
Right.
So if the law enforcement entity that we're looking for is like, we want to weaponize this and stuff, I don't know. I don't think I would really want to get involved with that. That's not really my area. It's more about helping and keeping people safe than weaponizing them. That stuff scares the crap out of me. It really does. I don't
Yes.
like that. Same thing with like the counter UAV stuff, like people shooting it out of the sky. Just to let your listeners know, one, there are apps that can tell you if there's a drone flying over you. There's lots of apps that can help you figure out if there's one around. If you suspect, or you hear something. Also, you can call the law. People can't just fly over your house and be, filming you and your kids out barbecuing. That is against the law. They cannot do that. So you do have rights, like totally. Third and most important thing, all you need to do is shine a very bright light and it blocks the camera. So why would they need to fly over you if they can't see you? So go to Walmart, get yourself a $15 million candle power flashlight and shine that mofo up there, and they're done. And so end of story. No bullet power needed. You know what I mean? So that's a long answer to your question. I am absolutely uninterested at all and completely against weaponizing things that can fly around. Like,
Right.
I'm good. I don't want any part of that. So I'm kind of on the other side of that, if that answered your question at all.
That absolutely answered my question. And you know what? I have to say I admire their approach because, it sounds like really what you need is the most powerful weapon is right between your ears. Just be smart about it. Even with your approach, that's like, okay, there's this thing flying above my house that's been circling. Let me go grab a flashlight versus let me go grab a rifle. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just definitely makes more sense. I think it's safer for everybody involved, and it seems to be with that approach, everybody can live the next day. You know what I'm saying, and try something different that didn't work out the day before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it keeps you off the
I like
news
that.
too.
Which is always a good thing. The only time I want to be up there is when they're announcing that I won my lotto ticket. But even then, I might want to keep that quiet.
Amen.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's like win a lotto, you get friends that you never had.
Yes.
So
True.
yes, ma'am. So okay. So with that approach, okay, you got you mentioned the sound. Um Now I do know I've heard like a whirring, but it's normally like when it's relatively close by, and I'm thinking that's not the propellers. But does the sound change based on I'm sorry, does the sound change based on the the mass of the UAV, or are there some that are like big and they're just silent, like you never hear them, or what when you mention that sound that you hear, do they differ in sound, or is it generally the same sound that's something that powerful would make? Because I
Yeah.
mean, I'm thinking that the only ones that I've seen so far are the little ones, I guess. And that is there a much more noticeable sound when it comes to the larger UAVs?
It really depends on what they're using it for. I mean, because like you were saying, it goes all the way from military, where it's like there's probably tech we don't even know, where the public doesn't even know yet, like all that kind of stuff, whatever.
Right.
I don't know the answer on the military end. I couldn't tell you. As far as the consumer end, the silent drone really kind of hasn't manifested yet. You know what I mean? Where it's completely silent. I may be out there. That's one of those, I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and say I know, but in my limited level of expertise, I would say most consumer drones, if you're really listening, you could probably hear it. You know what I mean? I don't think they're as stealthy really as people kind of think they are. When you're talking about these big, massive machines, that's more like military kind of stuff, or,
Right.
these big agricultural type drones where they're like flying over these huge properties and all that stuff. Well, obviously you're going to see that flying over or hear it, or something, but you would know it's there because you're standing in some
Right.
kind of field, or whatever, you know what I mean?
That might make sense. That doesn't look like a bird. That is
Right,
different.
exactly. Yeah, like there's no mistaking what that is, right? So it's kind of like I say, I think there's just a lot of like bad information or misinformation, and I don't think it's intentional. I think folks really do have a good intention when they're saying this kind of stuff, and whatever. They're just maybe not as educated as they could be. and myself included. I think everybody can just keep learning about this stuff. It's tech. It's not going away. You know what I mean? So I think as long as we as like Americans or humans, whatever, educate ourselves and we kind of know what's going on, I don't really think it's a problem. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm just
No,
rambling or what.
no, you're hitting on all the right points.
Okay,
Listen,
cool.
it's because I'm one of those people. Now people know this is no offense. I know what I'm gonna say is gonna sound crazy. Let me get it out before you hit me with the no offense. I always say there's no such thing as a dumb question, but as soon as I say that, I'm immediately questioned. I'm immediately challenged on my thinking. I'm like, yo, that was. I don't know. That might have done it. You know what I mean?
I do.
Um, the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of us don't have that. We don't have the access to be able to ask an expert or, and so some of those questions that we might that we want to ask, we might think they're dumb. But all I'm saying is, at this time, you got the comment section that find out. We always have access to this thing in our hand that's connected to the information highway. Unfortunately, everybody can put something up, so you just never
Yeah.
know. So I always try to take these opportunities when I can to talk to a subject matter expert to definitely to pick your brain, and I thank you for allowing us to do that. The uh, I had a question. I'm so sorry.
Well, I think
It's
if I
slipped my
remember
mind.
correctly, you were going to ask me like about where people can get that information. Is I think that's what we were kind of circling around about. I would
Thank you.
totally recommend like don't just Google it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't just Google it. Go to a trusted source. And by trusted source, I'm saying the FAA, Altitude University, High Stakes University, these kinds of places. There's a lot of really reputable schools, a lot of reputable YouTube channels, stuff like that. And like I said, anybody who is an earshot of my voice, I really mean it. Daphne at highstakesuniversity.net. Shoot me an email. If I don't know the answer, I'll do everything I can in my power to find out for you. Follow us on all of our stuff. Follow the Altitude University channel, and we'll keep you up to date. And I cannot stress that's not just me exchanging niceties, gang. Got a question? Bring it over to me. I am more than happy to address it. Totally.
Thank you so much, Daphne. I did remember that question. As far as we know, they're unmanned, obviously, like on the actual device, the UAV purpose. But is there a way to necessarily like program a route, or do you all if it's flying, does there have to be a pilot? Is that how it goes, or
There,
or
there
or
does have to be somebody like manning it, for lack of
planning?
better words, crewing it. But they do, like, they have technology where it will track a car. Like a lot of that stuff you see like in car commercials and stuff, where it's like these badass shots of them. They've set it where it focuses on that point and it will follow that vehicle. It does the same thing. You can type in grids. I mean, my partner Dave, he does a lot of flying for like real estate companies and things like that, and he'll map out, he puts in the grids and the thing will map out the property, and it's amazing what they can do. So yeah, in answer to your question, you can totally program them to like go places and all of that, but they do have to be crewed. Like you can't just be like, cool, all right,
That's what I was, that's what I was worried about. Like with some of these security guys, like they clock in and they're like, "All right, go ahead and send the drone up and wake me up." And if
Yeah,
anyone's
time for a smoke break. Like, no, you actually have to like watch the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah,
got
totally.
it, got it,
Yeah, you can't
got
just
it.
be like, okay, it's gone. All right, bye. Yeah.
Man, we have in the way that we're going with technology, you just got to know, like if you're ever out and about, are you able to like log into? Let me see if I can log into my drone and watch what's going on over there.
Yeah,
Just
no,
curious.
not a good plan.
And as far as these the flying life, right? Because I'm imagining if it's up there, it's probably on some kind of battery
Yeah.
or something that's powering it. What would you say is like maybe the average battery
It's
life that you
about
prefer?
20 minutes. Yeah,
Okay,
it's kind of one of the bigger issues, the problems now that in the industry you keep hearing a lot about, is the battery life just is not long enough. So
right,
basically, like what my partner does, because he does really like massive properties where
right,
he'll have several batteries charging, and it's a lithium ion battery. So he'll have like 4 or 5 batteries charging he'll be able to utilize that one, bring it in, switch it out,
Oh,
but you still have to send it back out. And so, like law enforcement, that's a big deal that we keep hearing about with that is it's like with the heat, because we're in Southern California, it gets hot, the battery life's only 20 minutes, or like the battery, they're not replacing their batteries. It's just like kind of like a cell phone. If you use the same thing, charge and charge and charge, it eventually will start to, crap out on
mhm.
you, for lack of better words. So that is kind of a thing that's going on in the industry. So if somebody out there wants to invent a a battery that lasts longer, you'd make a mint, man, I'm telling you.
Man, let's get working on those self charging batteries, Elon. Let's get it. Let's make it happen, man.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
so I definitely appreciate you coming through, Miss Daphne. And honestly, I've learned a lot. I mean, I almost feel like I might have an advantage today if somebody happens to hop on some Call of Duty. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but if you can for me one more time, please, I'm gonna bring you up on full frame. Please tell everyone again where they can find that information. Oh, I'm sorry. One last question. If uh,
Yeah.
if we have if we have those that are interested in maybe piloting or working for you guys, or maybe they've got drone experience, maybe they use it all the time, and they hear this and they say, you know what, I wonder if they're hiring, or I wonder how do I get in contact with them to see how I can hook up. How can they do that? If you would be so kind.
Oh, I'm so thrilled you brought that up. You're great. Yes, we are actually hiring. If somebody out there would like to inquire about either a sales position or a pilot position, please hit me up. Absolutely. You can visit our website. It's highstakesuniversity.net. You can also email me. It's Daphne, Daphne, at highstakesuniversity.net. And again, like if you are curious about, employment, getting your licensure, chatting about whatever, I don't care. I'm up for it. So yeah, more than happy to talk to anybody that is interested, in getting their license. They have their license. Yeah, absolutely. We are here for it. I'm here to support our community in any way I can. So if anybody's got, employment questions, yeah, hit me up.
Thank you so much, Daphne. Miss Daphne, anytime that we have a guest on the show, it's always an honor or privilege to get you guys time. I know, especially with the work that you guys doing, you're all making the world a better place. I mean, I feel a lot safer just having the conversation that I had with you. I definitely want to wish you definitely good luck going forward. I want you to know that anytime you would like to come back on the platform, you got to open an invitation. Just let me know. And maybe we can check in with you in the future to have another sit down to talk about how things are going and maybe some of the latest changes in drone technology. How would that sound?
Oh, I would be honored. Are you kidding me? Fantastic. Also, if I may, I saw that you guys also discuss music. And I have a music project. It's called Ever Pleasure. I did it all myself. So check it out. Anytime you guys want to chat music too, hit me up for that too. I'm always up for that. So it's an honor. Thanks. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to promote your show.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Minks, and I can't wait to talk. We got to have you back on to talk about this Everclear, or if you got a moment here, you want to tell us a little bit about it, or uh,
Yeah, yeah. So it's called Ever Pleasure, and
Ever
the
Pleasure. Sorry.
idea. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah, I created it. I live out in a ghost town. I don't know if you know that. I bought a house like 2 years ago in the middle of a ghost town. I'm like 30 minutes from even like a gas station. And so
Oh,
I have a lot of time on my hands. I have a lot of time. There's not a lot of people here. So I created this entire music project, a whole album. It's called Thick with the Darkness, and you can look it up on YouTube Music, Spotify, wherever the heck it is you get your music, it's on there. And the idea is I want to basically make it an immersive experience where it's kind of walking through a hurricane, kind of like an Area 15 sphere kind of thing. So it's a little, it's an in-depth project. So yeah, anybody who wants to check that out and support it, I would really appreciate it.
well, hey, we are all about support here at the No Offense Podcast. So I promise you, I will have heard it by the end of the day, or
Awesome.
definitely be following your channel as well. You said it's on YouTube, right? So that you would have
Yeah, it's on all that
the
stuff.
channel.
I distributed it through DistroKid. So if anybody knows who
Okay.
that is, it's on everything. Yeah.
We're very familiar with DistroKid here on this
I
platform.
figured you
Yes,
might
ma'am.
be.
Yes, ma'am. So you guys make sure that you give Daphne your full support. Please make sure that you visit her
Cool.
project, Ever Pleasure, Thick with the Darkness. available on all DistroKid, so it should be available on all platforms, correct?
Yeah, it's
your
on
Apple
pretty much
Music?
everything. Yeah. Yeah. I just Google it. It's not hard to find.
We'll definitely give it a listen. Miss Daphne, thank you again so much for your time. I hope that you have a wonderful, amazing rest of the year and happy holiday season. And we will definitely be in touch with you very soon.
Awesome. Thanks again, gang. All right. Bye.
Bye now. Guys, thank you again for tuning into the platform. As you can tell, we did have Miss Daphne Minks on the platform. She gave us a little bit of her expertise as far as the UAV training and techniques that they offer at High Stakes University and with Altitude University. Make sure that you guys go out and check out their websites. I did place them in the comment section, so you can go ahead and give them a look. If you're out in the California area, definitely make sure you reach out because you guys are local. If you're not local and you're interested in the training, again, visit their websites because the contact information is there to find out how they can offer their solutions to you. I gotta say, guys, I'm blessed because I get the best audience on this platform. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate you guys. That's not to pander to you. It's just I really appreciate your support. I appreciate the sharing that you guys do, the getting in the comment section, the just everything that you guys do. I always say that every opportunity that we have to sit down with anybody on this platform is just an honorable, amazing opportunity. So like I always tell you guys, don't wait on the world to change when you can be the one to change the world. I have been Mr. No Offense. You guys have been absolutely awesome. And we will catch you next time on the No Offense podcast. Be sure to tune into Thursday for the High Council podcast. And make sure to check out No Offense Magazine Winter 2024 that was released on Sunday. You can check that on our website. And make sure that you look for the article on High Stakes University and our spring issue, March 15th, 2025. You guys take care and be blessed. Peace. No Offense LLC. The LLC stand for business. Yeah. It's no offense. Yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't. Now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. We're trying to get to know it then. Gain support from those that view and wanna see you win. We got the website, magazine, and radio. Be back up soon. Trying to put you in the spotlight so that you can tell your truth. Yeah, it's no offense to you and me. Ain't trying to sell no image. I want you to come on through and live your life the way you live it. What you say you on your way, shine so bright they gotta see you. Pave your way and go be great. Make us say now, non-believers. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, we going in. Who we got on the show today? Might as well go tag a couple friends. They said you couldn't. Now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, it's no offense. They said you couldn't. Now you know you about to blow again. They working hard in case you really need to know again. Hey, it's no offense. Man, y'all hit that share button, man. Tap in. Special thank you to the guest of the show,